In this video, we will be replacing the front struts in this 2003 Toyota Camry. To prep this vehicle, I have installed wheel chocks on the rear tires. I have set the parking brake. I have raised the vehicle and supported it with jack stands. And I have removed the wheel from both sides of the front. With the wheel removed, I can clearly see my front strut assembly. I can also see my sway bar link, which I will need to disconnect. At the top we have a bolt that needs to be removed. Applying a little bit of Amsoil metal protector will help that bolt come out. It has been in there a long time and is probably pretty rusty. Connecting a vice grip to the back of this will help prevent it from spinning. Next, we will apply some Amsoil metal protector to the bracket holding our brake line components. This is a 12mm bolt that we can now remove. And to give us a little bit more slack, we have a 10mm bolt holding our ABS line. Little Amsoil metal protector again, and that can then be removed. We next have two 22mm bolts to remove. Again, starting with a little Amsoil metal protector. And then with a wrench on one side and our socket on the other, we can loosen that up. And before I take that top bolt out, I'm going to support the wheel assembly just slightly with a jack, just so it doesn't drop down as much. And I can work those two components apart. Next, we're going to shift our focus to the engine bay. Specifically, we are taking a look at the farthest corner towards the passenger side. Here we have three 14mm bolts. I'm going to remove two of them and then just loosen the third one, making sure to use just a little bit of Amsoil metal protector to aid in that removal process. So we can see that our strut has dropped down just a little bit. We want to support this from the outside as we finish loosening it. And then we can work that out. And I like to compare my old part with my new part, just to make sure that they look the same and the components are oriented in the correct direction. When installing our new strut, we want to have the nuts ready, and we want to orient the strut in the same fashion that the old one came out. As soon as we can install one of those nuts, that will help hold it in place. And for right now, we're just going to snug these down. And we are now ready to reassemble this back together. And with the use of a jack underneath it, I can just barely adjust it just enough to get those bolts to slide through nice and easy. These will then be torqued to 159 foot-pounds. We can then reconnect our brake lines and other components. 10mm bolt up top. 12mm bolt down below. And that followed by our sway bar link. And that sway bar link nut then needs to be torqued to 55 foot-pounds. So at this point we have replaced our front strut. Everything down below is torqued, so we can go ahead and put the wheel back on. With the wheel back on and the vehicle lowered, we can now shift our attention back to the engine bay. Our top 3 strut mount nuts will be tightened to 59 foot-pounds. And at this point, this repair is complete.